to fig happens. Yep, I said it. Fig happens. Now, here's the thing. Saying fig happens is, well, it's basically the church-friendly version of saying, well, you know. Yeah, and sometimes you just have those days where fig happens. There's no other way to say it. Fig happens. There's other ways to say it, but I can't say it in church. But so have you ever had the days like where you woke up and you are excited for the day? No. Amen. Like you have something going on that day. Maybe it's your birthday. Maybe you're supposed to go over to somebody's house and they're going to cook that thing that you like. Maybe you had some event planned. Maybe somebody was supposed to bring you some cake. But something happens as the day begins that trumps that thing that you were excited about. It like overshadows it. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Like now you can't even think about the thing that you were excited about because of this negative thing that has happened that has made you forget, or at least, at the very least, not so excited about that big event, that thing that you were so excited about. Have you ever had it happen? Yeah? All the time. That's what this is about. That's what fig happens is about. You're excited, things are going well, things are going great. You got the brand new car, and then it breaks down. Fig happens. You finally get that house you've been praying about. You get in, AC stops working. Fig happens. You clean up the house, it's spotless. Kids get home from school, wreck the place, can't even tell it was clean. Fig happens. Fig happens. So, I remember this time that people were bragging up this restaurant in town. And John, I don't know if you give something's feedback here. I don't know if it's maybe something that's on up here. But there was this restaurant, and everybody was talking about it. You have to go. You have to try it out. And have you ever noticed, like, when somebody really builds up a restaurant, like, at least for me, it always seems like a letdown. Like, I think that's what I do. Like, I build up Moonshwiners, and people go, and then they're like, it's just like, it's a barbecue place. And I've realized that if you're not from Fort Pierce, that, I don't know, something about people from Fort Pierce, our taste buds are different when it comes to Moonshwiners. Like, we got like that hillbilly redneck taste buds, you know? And it just tastes better to us. But if you're not from Fort Pierce, you weren't raised here, you weren't born here, it's not the same. But there was a restaurant, I'm not going to mention the name, I don't want to throw it under the bus, but a restaurant in town that everybody was raving about. In your head, you can put whatever restaurant you want. But everybody was raving about this place. So Julie and I thought, okay, we will try it. We get there. And we're like, all right, we're finally here. Desi, we were at the place. Some people told us that you haven't lived yet until you tried this place. So we get out of the car and we start walking up. And that smell hit us. It was, that smell of like the only way that I can really describe it is like garlic meets butter and they get married. Like a smell like you get full just smelling it. You know what I'm talking about? We get a little closer and the atmosphere is perfect. The place looks amazing. You can see from the inside the lighting is perfect. And we sit down, order, and we wait. And the place is packed. And when you go to a place like that, you realize you may have to wait a little bit longer than you normally would, but you know it's going to be worth it. So we order that, the thing, that thing that you got to get, that thing that they're famous about, that thing that you haven't lived until you ate it. So you order that thing, and we wait. The food comes, and it looks amazing. Cody, it's like, this is the kind of food that you would put on your Instagram feed, Looks amazing. I bite into it. It's fine. Yeah, not bad. Not great. But just fine. And it's one of those moments where I realize, fig happens. You leave, you're not full. It's more, you're disappointed. Because what looked like on the outside wasn't actually what it was. You ever had those moments? Yep. So, there's a story in Mark chapter 11. And we'll just read it. Mark chapter 11, we're going to read verse 12 and 14, and then we're going to skip down to 20 and 21. It says, the next day as they were leaving Bethany, Jesus was hungry. Seeing in the distance a fig tree and leaf, he went to find out if it had any fruit. When he reached it, he found nothing but leaves, because it was not season for figs. Then he said to the tree, may no one ever eat fruit from you again. And his disciples heard him say it. In the morning, as they went along, they saw the fig tree withered from the roots, and Peter remembered and said to Jesus, Rabbi, look, the fig tree you cursed has withered. So in this story, Jesus is walking from Bethany with his disciples. It's early. There's cool air, dust under their sandals, and he sees it. In the distance, a fig tree. Not just any fig tree. This fig tree was full of leaves. And if you know anything about figs and fig trees, which, by the way, they did, you would know that a fig tree that had these big leaves that was noticeable from a distance was a mature fig tree. This is a fig tree that has produced fruit in the past. And I know the writer of Mark writes that it wasn't season. But did you know that fig trees, mature fig trees, produce a fruit out of season? right before season. It's called tekwash. And Jesus sees this fig tree full of leaves. And he's hungry. And he says, I'm going to get some fruit off this tree. Now, this tree that had these full leaves was making a statement. See, this tree was advertising, I got fruit. If you're hungry, come see me. This tree was declaring that it could offer something for you. And Jesus walks up. He reaches his hand in the tree and nothing. No figs, no fruit, just leaves. And then he does something strange. I would say it's one of the most unclassic Jesus moves that he has done. He does something that, well, if you know Jesus, when you hear this, you would scratch your head a little bit. But he curses the tree. And he says, may no one ever eat from you again. Wait, what? What? Like, I think, like, if I was there, I would have been something like, hey, Bartholomew, like, what did he just say? Was that Peter saying that, or was that Jesus? Because sounds like something Peter would say. Not really something Jesus was. Did I hear that right? What's up with Rabbi? What's wrong with him? And somebody in first service said Jesus was hangry. But I don't really buy that. I never see any other place where Jesus is hangry. I mean, why did Jesus curse this tree? Well, first of all, that's what prophets did. This right here, what you were seeing, and a lot of Jesus' stories, it's like a form of guerrilla theater. And if you don't know what that is, well, the Israelites and Hebrews, they were tended to be a little dramatic on their storytelling. Because why? Because they wanted to make sure that you remembered what was happening. And if you study the Old Testament prophets, this is kind of like what prophets did. Jeremiah, he smashes a clay jar. Oh, Ezekiel, he lays on his side for a year straight. Hosea, was the worst. He had to marry a prostitute. Because prophets didn't just preach the truth, they acted it out. So you remembered it. It was not something you could ignore. And see, a fig tree wasn't just any tree. A fig tree in that world during Jesus' time, a fig tree was a symbol. It meant something. It was a symbol of Israel, a symbol of the temple. It was a symbol of the entire system that was created to offer this, but has now become this. See, Jesus was making a statement. And I want you to understand like how dramatic this would have been, how breathtaking this would have been. Because if you look in verse 14, it says, "Then he said to the tree, may no one eat fruit from you again." And then it's the next line, it said, his disciples heard him say it. Now, the writer of Mark felt like it was important to say that. You would just assume normally his disciples heard him say it because they're with him and he's talking. But the writer of Mark wants to make sure that you see this. Because they didn't only hear him say it, they felt it. Just to show you how dramatic this was, what Jesus did would have felt like standing in the middle of town, grabbing the national flag and setting it on fire. This wouldn't have, and his disciples would have gasped. You see, it's not about the cloth, it's about what it represents. This isn't about the tree, but it's about what it represents. The shock, the outrage, the statement. The thing isn't living up to what it claims to be. It represented the temple. It represented the leaders in the temple. It represented the entire system that has forgotten why it was there and what its purpose was. Is that us? Because it's easy to go and look at another church and say, man, that church, they got all the lights, they got the big screens, they got the coffee shop, they got, and say, man, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Are we? Are you? Because this story is about us. It's one thing, and I think it's very important to read these scriptures and read these stories and see what happened back then, but I think it's even more important to read these scriptures and say, because of what happened back then, what's happening in me right now? Are you leafy? And I'll ask you again, why did he curse this tree? I mean, I think we all get leafy, right? We all pretend at some point to be something that we're not. And if you've ever done that, and you had to fake it, because you thought that was the easier thing to do, if you've ever had to get in a situation where you had to fake it, when you do that, a part of you dies. And I think it's easy to do because we have a default in us for performance over presence. Why? Because, well, performance feels better. We fear being exposed, so we cover up with appearance. And then we get comfortable with routine, even when it's unfruitful, because it's what we've always done. And there's some of us, we are stuck in a cycle of unfruitfulness, but we keep going in doing the same thing over and over and over again, just calling it something different. Because it's what's comfortable. We start chasing approval because real growth, true growth, doesn't come instantly. It takes a while. And we rely on words instead of being authentic because words are easier to control. I can tell you all day long how righteous I am, how great I am, how full of Jesus I am, how church-going I am. I can control that. But when it comes to being authentic and being the true me, it's not so easy. Leafy's easy. Slow maintenance is socially accepted. It makes us look spiritual, while avoiding the slow, messy, vulnerable work of growing something real. What are you growing? Are you growing something so you can get social media likes? I feel like somebody needs to know this. None of us are counting your likes. Some of us have blocked you months ago. I'm just kidding, Pee-wee. I'd never block you. But here's the confusing part of all this. Because it's easy as a preacher for me to pick one story, highlight that story, preach one thing, preach it hard, say a few memorable things so that then we can edit it, put it on social media, and I can make 5 Jimmy in the Mornings out of it this week. Absolutely. But see, in Jesus' stories, there's another fig tree. And it's found in Luke chapter 13. And it says this, then he told this parable. So Jesus is telling this story. It says, a man had a fig tree growing in his vineyard, and he went to look for fruit on it, but did not find any. So he said to the man who took care of the vineyard, which is the gardener, and spoiler alert, the gardener's Jesus. And he says, for 3 years now, I've been coming to look for fruit on this fig tree and have found none. Cut it down. Why should I use up this soil? Sir, the man replied, leave it alone for 1 more year. I'll dig around it, fertilize it. If it bears fruit next year, fine. If not, cut it down. I mean, 2 fig trees, but 2 totally different outcomes. Why? Like at first, like you're kind of like, Jesus, this is kind of contradictory of like what you did to the other tree. You just cursed it. Why curse one fig tree, but then give the other fig tree 1 more year? Anybody? Says the gardener says, give it 1 more year. I'll dig around it. I'll fertilize it. And if it doesn't grow, then I'll cut it down. The one tree gets cursed, the other tree gets cultivated. One gets protested, the other gets patience. Why? Well, see, the second tree that we find in Luke, first of all, it's planted in a vineyard, which means it's privileged. It has good soil. And it's planted there and has been there for 3 years. But see, the difference is this tree that's in the vineyard, it didn't say that it has full leaves. It's saying it's been 3 years, it has never produced fruit. This tree's not pretending to be something that it's not. And here's the thing. I had to rewrite this whole message because I was just going to end at the one. And then I started thinking about this story in Luke. I was like, I can't ignore this, so I got to look into it. I got to see what's the difference between these trees. And when I read this, this is what I started thinking about. I started thinking about people that are here at Fairlawn. And they come in and they sit in these chairs. And they're here for whatever reason it is. But they're here. And you look at them and you say, it's been 3 years. And they are still the same. It's been 3 years. And they're still the same. And it's easy to say, yeah, at this point, they're never going to change. And see, we've seen people come here, and we've seen the power of Jesus totally transform them. And then there's others we've seen, and they've been here for years, and they're still the same. And we want to say, you know what? Why are we even bothering? And Jesus is saying, they've been here 3 years. You notice Jesus didn't just say, the gardener didn't say, it's been here 3 years. Let's give it another year and see if it grows. He says, I'm going to dig around it. I'm going to spend some extra time with it, some extra care. I'm going to fertilize it a little bit more. I'm going to baby this tree. I'm going to walk beside this tree. I'm going to go through. There's not a day that's going to go by that I don't spend with this tree. So maybe before we say, oh, they've been here a few years, they're still the same. Or yeah, they'll come one Sunday and we won't see them for 6 Sundays, and they come back. Or oh, here we go again. Maybe before we do that, maybe we need to say, hey, let me spend a little time with them. Because we want it, a lot of times we want it fixed, but we don't want to be the one that does it. Pastor, you need to correct them. But the problem is usually when people say that, they don't mean you need to correct them. That means you need to punish them. Because, see, correction and punishment is different, because correction's done out of love. And it means, hey, I'm ready to walk by them every day. I'm going to dig around them. I'm going to fertilize around it. I'm going to spend a little more time with it. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to call it on the phone, ask how it's doing. But we're so quick to dismiss people. See, I don't know if you've realized this. This story is not about trees at all, and about figs at all, and about Jesus being hungry at all. This story is about people. And I just want to say, you might need to be a little careful when you say things like, I hate people, or I don't like people, or I've given up on people. Because you're a person, and Jesus hasn't given up on you. And maybe you're one of those people that you're like, man, that's me. Maybe you're like Stephen, who called out, hey, what are you talking about me? Maybe you're like, that is me. And you've accepted that label you've been given. And now that has given you an excuse not to get involved. That's given you an excuse not to come. That's given you an excuse to just continue through these cycles. And you just need to know, Jesus hasn't given up on you. And neither has Farallon. Now, the other tree is on a road that people travel by, that people go by. The other tree that Jesus cursed, that tree has big leaves. It's promoting something that it can't offer. See, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 9 says this. It says, when you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap to the very edges of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest. Do not go over your vineyard a second time or pick up the grapes that have fallen. Leave them for the poor and the foreigner. I am the Lord your God. See, what the Torah is saying, what Leviticus is saying is, when you harvest your land, don't strip the edges bare, but leave some for those that are less fortunate than you. Leave some for those that are not as privileged as you. Leave some for those that weren't born in the same country as you. Leave some for those that don't have what you have. But God, how about if they don't believe like me? Just leave some for them. Leave them for them anyways. See, a fig tree by the road, that's food for everybody. This isn't just food for Jesus. This was not about Jesus' breakfast. This is food for everybody. The travelers, the hungry, the stranger. So when there's leaves but no fruit, it's not about just missing breakfast. It's the poor going hungry. It's the foreigner passing by empty-handed. It's a system designed for generosity that stopped being generous. Oh, that's what this story is about. And by the way, fruit isn't for the tree. It's for the people that come up to the tree. Oh, you thought the fruit that goes on here, the fruit that Farallon's growing, you thought it was for you? You thought it was for me? You thought it was for us? No. It's for those that come in. It's for those out there. Well, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just not going to grow fruit. I just won't have any fruit. No. Fruit's not for you. It's for those around you. So yeah, fig happens. And sometimes it's that kind of fig, all leaves, no fruit. And when that happens, people suffer. And see, today maybe you're the first tree. And today it's time for you to stop pretending. Or maybe you're the second tree. And it's time to let somebody in and let them dig around you. Open up to them. You don't got to open up to everybody. You do not have to put all your mess and all your things up on social media. But you need to let somebody know. You need to have somebody you can open up with and be yourself. And let them dig around you, and let them fertilize you, let them spend time with you. But either way, whether you're either the first tree or the second tree, either way, Jesus is after fruit. He's looking for fruit. And during this whole series, we've had these stars. And I know that you may not remember all what the stars are for, but we have the clear star. That was about clarity when you don't know what's next. And then we have the red star. That's about courage to step into that moment, to step into that place, and to speak up when you need to speak up for what's right, regardless of what anybody else thinks. And then there's the blue star that's saying, hey, it's time to rebuild. But I'm not just talking about rebuilding your life, rebuilding those around you's lives. Letting people know, hey, I'm in this with you. But today we have a yellow star. The color of light that exposes, the color of truth, and that moment where, well, you can't pretend anymore. Right now you should have a leaf. And here's the thing, we all, at times, we get leafy, we put the leaves out, we show off, we pretend to be something we're not. Listen, is it okay if I'm just real with you? There are times when I've put on the pastor's smile, I've shaken the hands, given the hugs, act like everything's fine. Here's the problem. Most of you guys know me pretty well, so I'm fooling you. I thought one time I did. I was like, man, I came in, there was a lot of stuff going on. I came here on a Sunday, and I wasn't feeling it. If you don't, you thought you were the only ones that don't feel it sometimes? You wish you were the only ones that thought you wish you could stay home on a Sunday and just stay in bed? Or just watch Jeopardy all day? Sorry to call you out, Cynthia. You thought, no, I do it too. And I put on that pastor smile, that pastor handshake. And there was one Sunday I thought I had everybody fooled. Nobody said anything to me. Nobody asked me what was wrong. I'm like, man, I'm getting good at this. I'm getting better. And my acting skills, man. The next Sunday, I came to church. Bob walks up to me. He says, man, I'm glad to see that you are feeling better after you were so down last Sunday. I thought, dang it, Bob. I mean, if I could have $1 for every time I said, dang it, Bob. But what are you faking? What are you pretending? What are you doing that's not you can't be the real you? What are you afraid of? I want you right now, that's what I want you to write on this leaf. What is it, that thing that you're faking? What is that thing that you're pretending? What is that thing that you need to stop doing to produce fruit? Because you can't produce fruit if you're trying to be something or somebody else. You can say all you want that you're an apple tree, but unless you're an apple tree, you're not going to produce apples. You might fool some people. What is the thing that you care more about the appearance than just being you? What is that? What is that? After you have it written down, I want you to get out of your seat. I want you to bring it up here on the stage and just drop it, and then you go back to your seat and you leave it. Because today you're going to leave it. You're going to leave that thing. You're going to leave it. You're not going to go back to it when you get home. You're not going to go back to it tomorrow. You're leaving it. Because from this day forward, you're going to produce fruit. Aren't you tired of faking it? Aren't you tired of the cycles that you're in? Don't posting those things and having to give that appearance, isn't it tiring and exhausting it? No. It's time to stop faking. What's that thing that you won't let people in about? anybody here right now, you have an issue with, you're like, I'm gonna, you know what? I have something written down, but I'm gonna wait till service is over, then I'm gonna go slip it up there on the stage. Well, that kind of defeats the whole purpose that you care more about the appearance and how you look to everybody else than you do about getting real. And by the way, church is probably the place that's more famous than any other place for people coming and being fake. How if we be that church that switches that around? How about if we're the church that said, man, the one thing I can say about Farallon, other than that, Pastor Jimmy's hilarious and extremely funny and very good looking. But one thing I can say about Farallon is they are real. They'll just tell how it is. Gets a little uncomfortable sometimes. See, I don't want you to go through another day having to fake it. Because I know how miserable that is. See, fig happens. It does. Pretending happens. Dry seasons happen. Burnout happens. Church hurt happens. But see, grace happens too. Healing happens too. Growth happens too. Fruit happens too. So my friends, my family of Farallon Church, who I love so much, may you go and be that tree that produces fruit. Grace and peace. I love you.